I am talking about the facts of Islam and Christianity. Our topic is the great Joseph. We are evaluating him from the perspectives of both a Christian and a Muslim. Please note, your beliefs may be affected. Stay tuned, more videos will follow. Joseph in the Christian perspective. 1. Joseph in the Old Testament. In Christianity, Joseph is a central figure in the book of Genesis, where his story is one of betrayal, suffering, and eventual triumph. He is the son of Jacob and one of the 12 tribes of Israel. His brothers, envious of his father's love for him, sell him into slavery. However, Joseph rises to a high position in Egypt, becoming an advisor to Pharaoh, due to his ability to interpret dreams, which God bestowed upon him. 2. Joseph is a model of faith. Joseph's story is often seen as an example of faith and trust in God. Despite being wronged by his brothers and enduring hardships, Joseph continues to rely on God's guidance. His ultimate forgiveness of his brothers, who come to him in Egypt during a famine, is viewed as a powerful testimony of forgiveness and reconciliation. Joseph's faith and perseverance in difficult times are central messages in Christianity. 3. Joseph's role in the lineage of Jesus. Joseph is also important in Christianity due to his role as the earthly father of Jesus Christ. According to the New Testament, Joseph was a righteous man who married Mary, the mother of Jesus, and accepted his divine calling. His obedience to God's will in raising Jesus is a key part of the Christian story. Joseph in the Muslim perspective. 1. Prophet Yusuf. In Islam, Joseph is considered one of the most important prophets. His story is primarily told in the Quran in the chapter named after him, Surah Yusuf. Like the Christian story, Yusuf's life is filled with betrayal, challenges, and divine favor. His brothers plot against him, throwing him into a well, and later he is sold into slavery. However, he rises to a position of great importance in Egypt. 2. Divine wisdom and patience. Yusuf is revered for his patience, trust in God, and the ability to remain righteous even in the face of adversity. In the Quran, it is mentioned that Yusuf was endowed with divine wisdom and the ability to interpret dreams, just like in the Bible. His famous dream interpretation helps him gain prominence in the Egyptian court. His story emphasizes morality, forgiveness, and the importance of trusting in God's plan. 3. Yusuf's story is a moral example. The Quranic account of Yusuf emphasizes his moral integrity and purity. His resistance to the advances of Zulaykha, the wife of his master, is seen as an example of steadfastness and virtue. Yusuf's life teaches Muslims the values of patience in times of trial, forgiveness, and honoring God's will above all else. 4. Reconciliation and forgiveness. One of the most important lessons in Islam from Yusuf's story is the reconciliation with his brothers. Despite the wrongs they did to him, Yusuf forgives them when they come to him during a famine, seeking help. His act of forgiveness and reconciliation is considered an essential lesson for Muslims, illustrating the importance of compassion and mercy. Commonalities. In both Christianity and Islam, Joseph is recognized as a man of virtue, wisdom, and faith. Both traditions emphasize his ability to interpret dreams and his rise to power in Egypt. Forgiveness is a central theme in both stories, with Joseph forgiving his brothers for their betrayal. Both Christianity and Islam regard Joseph as a figure who trusts in God and perseveres through immense hardship. Differences. Christianity highlights Joseph's role in the lineage of Jesus as his earthly father, while Islam does not focus on Joseph's direct connection to the family of the Prophet Muhammad. The biblical story of Joseph focuses more on his role as a leader in Egypt, while the Quranic version emphasizes his moral and spiritual development and the lessons drawn from his life. In Islam, Yusuf is specifically viewed as a prophet with a divinely ordained mission, while in Christianity, he is primarily seen as a righteous man in a historical and spiritual context. Conclusion. Joseph, or Yusuf, is a revered figure in both Christianity and Islam. His story is one of overcoming adversity, showing great moral integrity, and ultimately finding reconciliation with his family. Both religions share key aspects of his narrative, such as his betrayal by his brothers, his rise to prominence in Egypt, and his eventual forgiveness of those who wronged him. However, the interpretations of his role and significance vary, with Christianity focusing on his connection to the family of Jesus. and Islam emphasizing his status as a prophet and his moral and spiritual example.